As executive producer, I'm going postal, but none of us knows what that actually means. So explain it over a beer later.
Well, when you're dealing with media of any sort, that takes up time. You have to, there's contracts and arguing and all kinds of stuff. And all this stuff takes it out of the day. And you know, the idea of the author just sitting there in some kind of oak room, just scribbling away, it just doesn't do.
No. There's one thing that was mentioned recently. We had to actually come out and say categorically that we hadn't met Stephen Moffat when we were in London, because the rumour was going around that we had met a big shot in the business, and for some reason people thought that was Stephen Moffat. I think he'd be very pleased if we thought it was a big shot in the movie business. Very nice guy, because people thought that Terry was on the back of Neil Gaiman writing an episode of Doctor Who. People thought this was the case, but we didn't. In fact, on our grandmother's lives, we didn't. Did we meet Stephen Moffat?
Didn't you go to 3 funerals this year?
Okay. On your grandmother's life, we didn't genuinely meet Stephen Moffat. I can say that. But can we actually tell them who we met? We are allowed to. I think it was. Yes, it was Jeffrey Katzenberg. And he was very, very nice. And we met his writer, who, and this is the thing, Hollywood that always surprises me. So there's Jeffrey Katzenberg, there's the writer, and we got on really well, and we had a really good time. And then we haven't heard anything about the Bromeliad. We haven't heard about Travis Stevens and Wings for years now, since Andrew Adamson went off and did Shrek. And then suddenly they come back and they say, we've done this, we've done that, and they show us things, and it's really, gosh, wow. And it looks as if it's going to happen, doesn't it?
If I had a penny for every time I thought things were going to happen, I'd have 73 shillings and sixpence.
That does sound about right. I think that's why the TV adaptations have been so much fun. Because going back, you might have heard this story before, but going back 100 years now, a car pulls up in a drive, and Ian Sharples gets out, and Rod Brown, and basically Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, who otherwise known as Vadin, and bounced his all the way up to Terry's office, and I followed him up. He was full of enthusiasm, Hogfather. And I just thought, you were going to walk through the door, Terry's going to take one look at your enthusiasm, and he's going to shoot you in the head. Anyway, that's fine, because it's Vadin, and we'll push him in first. But you know what? There they are. The guys sat down, they said, we can do this, we can do that. I'm looking at Ian now, whether Ian's the money man, he was probably going, no, we can't actually produce 1 million teeth to make it look like a pile of 1 million teeth, which in fact they never did.
One of the nice things about Mob is that they are fan friendly. To pay back for living in this lovely country here, you don't often get a chance to be an extra in a Discworld movie. Nah. By the way, any of you here are members of the Society who created the mechanism? Well, I'm a real knight. They first used extras in Colourmatic, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
And the relationship of fans with movie companies or movie deals and things has had a rather speckled history, and I was really kind of worried about how this would go. And I remember the fans turning up, and they had dressed in costume.
They really tried very hard.
They had tried very hard. God bless them. And some came from America, didn't they?
It's a long way away.
It's a long way away. It's beyond Luton. And,
Scotland.
And then the wardrobe people said, no, we can't be having that. We have to do the wardrobe. They go, well, very good as well. And they came out looking all sparkling and wonderful, and actually looking much better than the other costumes. Butcher, for example, he really came out looking good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it was the most edifying experience, really, because the fans knew it all. The fans didn't have to have anything explained to them about what was going on. This very much impressed Mob.
Can you remember the day when Ian had to stand on the steps of the bus to tell the fans that, in fact, basically the promise was that no one's going to take the mickey out of you, and your expenses will be covered, and da. But we sat down and had a conversation, and Ian actually said, well, I'd actually like to pay them the going rate for extras, because it's only fair. There's other extras on this, professional extras who are only half as good as the Discworld fans.
But because after they've been used for the first time, Ian phoned us up and said, can we have some more fans, please?
Yeah. They're ready. So Ian stood on the steps and said, okay guys, it's like this. All expenses paid for, as much lovely food actually. Quite genuinely, it's really good grub that you can scoff. And the going rate was, say, £150 a day. And a certain Pat Harkin, who's in the room, said, and how do we pay you? The spirit of the whole thing. Just like that.
Is Ian here? And I imagine you'll be using fans again in the unseen academicals?
It's such a fantastic way of getting people involved. Absolutely, why not?
Well, especially since it's a big football match.
Fantastic. I'm doing rubbish at football, so I'm going to do something.
Actually, somehow I think that if your face is a pink blob in the cloud because it's a football match, I don't think you're going to get, was it $25 million a day?
Oh, yeah. But it was great fun, and they got me in costume, and I was doing, because obviously Terry does his cameo, but I was thrilled that they asked me if I went to Pinewood Studio, and it's the heart of British cinema, would I do my first stunt on camera? So it was my, I think, 38th birthday. They got me dressed, so a great way to celebrate your birthday. They got me dressed up, and they put a 4-foot spear in my chest, and they tied me up, and they threw me out of the mended drum. And,
and he lay there grinning.
And only well, you could look at that, you could freeze frame, but I think only my own mother would recognise the body being thrown at me. They actually dubbed my scream, which I was only a little disappointed about. And but the thing was, being the lovely people that they are, they then thought it would be a real hoot not to tell Rob that he couldn't, he didn't have to take his spear off with the garden scenes done. So they kept me in my costume, wearing my 4-foot spear for the next 2 days.
His relationship with young women was absolutely
It's all mine. But the gentlemen in here, could you please just bear me a second's thought and think about using a portaloo with a 4-foot spear? You can't get in the door. You just have to hope that you get it.
That kind of stuff comes under the heading of a good day. And it is, because it's going to get stuff on the screens and stuff. So I mean, that's something that you expect to have to do. And we're looking forward to doing it again.
Long way to continue. And Rob Brown, who worked, he was a producer with Mob. He's now gone his separate way, and he's doing. He's actually working on the adaptation of Good Omens. And so we gather.
Some other I'm not too loud.
Is he really? Oh, God bless him. And that'll be a lot of fun as well, because obviously there'll be a big crowd scene required for that. Regrettably, the crowd will get blown up. There are only fans. There's interchangeable, really, aren't they? If you've got one crisp boot, you know, just extrude another one, really. I mean,
Have another one to make a pair.
oh, absolutely. More happy you've got a pair.
Which one?
So you might wonder where the lighting comes from. Somehow it gets done.